Shalom. I have a question about the two verses which come from Proverbs 17. Proverbs 17:8 reads, "A bribe is a charm in the sight of its owner. Wherever he turns, he prospers." Verse 23 reads, "A wicked man receives a bribe from the bosom, in secret, to pervert the ways of justice." How might we understand these two seemingly contradictory verses? How is it that in the first verse, the bribe causes a man to prosper, yet in the second verse, the bribe is seen as a perversion of justice? Thank you for your insight.
Thank you for your question. Now, well, the word bribe in the Hebrew has usually a negative connotation. It is also used in a positive way and sometimes translated with words like reward or tribute or gift, as in 1 Kings 15:19, when King Asa of Judah sent gifts to the king of Aram to make a peace treaty with him, or when King Ahaz sent his gifts to the king of Assyria in 2 Kings chapter 16. However, both passages in Proverbs 17:8 and 23 are negative and speak of the evil of giving a bribe. A better translation comes from the Tanakh, from the JPS. A bribe seems like a charm to him who uses it. Not is a charm. Furthermore, throughout the book of Proverbs, the word bribe, sochat, is used 4 times and always used in a negative sense. Now, while it is wrong to bribe someone to get our way, it is not wrong to give a gift to someone to help a first encounter or to mend an issue, like it is written in Proverbs 18:16. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. And sometimes we can be at odds with a person like Jacob was, who sent gifts to his brother Esau to soothe them. We read in Genesis 32, then he selected from what he had with him a present for his brother Esau. The Hebrew word in both these latter verses is not bribe, sochat, but the Hebrew mincha, which is a gift, a tribute. In these cases, a question now arises. Was Jacob or the men sending gifts were using something wrong to achieve their goals? Not at all. Concerning Jacob, for instance, he used whatever worked to save his family and subdue Esau's evil anger. We can say that he did what Yeshua asked us to be in Matthew 10:16. Behold, I sent you as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore, listen to what he says. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Serpents and doves are two opposite animals. Only one that is sly, powerful. The other is innocent and so fragile. Yet we are called to be the best of both. Shrewd or wise as serpent. This is the same word the Septuagint translated in Genesis 3:1, when it says that the serpent was more cunning, that is wiser than any other beast. Though he was then bent for evil, we ought to be cunning as well, but within all legalities. In the Christian world, there is a laissez-faire. In fact, a laissez-faire, that is an attitude of accepting mediocrity and letting things take their own course in the name of love and tolerance. But love and tolerance do not allow for such an attitude. Coming from a business background, I can tell you that there's a sea of difference between most Christian organizations and those of the world out there. The difference is in the way the others in the world are aggressive and progressive in their desire to raise their profit. I wish we had a similar drive in our organizations, not for money, of course, money profit, but in order to better reach out and preach the gospel.